Because in reality, business books are low-key self-help books, okay? There are things in these books that teach you about your life and your personal development and your mindset and your leadership skills. And like everything is all intertwined because business is personal and personal means business. So yes, you can mix business and pleasure or business and personal, just not with your bank accounts. What up? Welcome back to my channel and another video of my 31-day challenge. Wow, have you watched every video so far? Like, let me know which one has been your favorite. And if you haven't watched every video so far, please check out my playlist of all the daily videos from day one, which was August 1st when I started this challenge. I am Elisa. I am the founder of Illustrated Melanin. We are a wellness-centered stationery brand that inspires intentional practices of self-care, mindfulness, and joy. And I'm on a 31-day challenge to put myself out there and let people know what the heck I do. Because if no one else does it, it's never gonna happen, right? I gotta be the one to root for me out loud. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Fill out the comment section with questions, comments, concerns. What are the concerns, guys? There are no concerns. I'm just kidding. But seriously, subscribe, comment, thumbs up this video. All right, today's video is all about the top 3 books that I have read this year so far, and these are business books. We've already done a self-help book iteration of this, and these are my top 3 business books that I've read this year, and I want to talk about them. I want to see if you've read these books too, if you like them as much as I do, or if you have a different opinion and maybe you don't like them as much and they did nothing for you. And to that I say, interesting. 2 of them I have with me, and one of them is back at the library already, and y'all know how I feel about library books. Listen, this is a shameless plug. This is not a sponsored ad. I don't even think libraries can do that. But if you do not have a library card, please go get yourself a library card. It is the freest, free-willed, cheapest thing that you could do for yourself. It not only gives you access to books and magazines and DVDs, I think they still do, and other archival things, or even they have, some libraries have a creative space and workshop where you can 3D print and learn how to sew and make all of these things and use your hands again. They also have digital access to movies and TV shows and audiobooks. And if you have local places like a zoo or a museum or some kind of cultural, I don't know, establishment, whatever, you can access discounted or sometimes even free tickets through your local library. So especially if you have kids and they're out for the summer still, get you a library card, get you a free or discounted pass to an amusement park or something, and take them kids out of the house for a few hours. You know you need it. Okay, let's get into the books. Okay, the 12-week year is the one that I don't have, so I'll just put an image of it here. The 12-week year by Brian Moran. Rewrite Your Rules. I keep wanting to say rewrite your own rules, but Rewrite Your Rules by Morgan DeBaun. She is the owner of Blavity. And 10 times is easier than 2 times. This is by Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy. Get you this book, okay? So good. So the 12-week year, again, I don't have it. It's back at the library. I'm thinking about purchasing the book just because the frameworks and things that are in that book, I really need to sit with and work out. And I should have taken notes so that I could refer back to them after reading the book. But I'm going to get into everything that, well, some of the things that were discussed in the book so that it gives you an idea of what to expect. We have mostly grown up recognizing a calendar year as your end-all be-all, right? So when December 31st hits, you scream Happy New Year without the S, and January 1st hits and you are starting fresh, right? You are making New Year's resolutions and you are telling yourself that you're going to be different this year. And it's like, why do we do that? Because it's literally the dead of winter and our bodies are tired and we are not going to want to sit there and start something new and fresh and exciting. You start new and fresh in the spring equinox when things are blooming and the world is coming alive again. Your plant life is coming alive again. You should really follow the seasons in the plant life for starting fresh and make it your new year. Some people even use their birthdays as New Year's and start fresh there. And then we have like, starting on Monday, we're going to do this and that and that. Why not? Start on a Wednesday. Start on a Friday even. Like, there should be no rules. You have total and complete free will in this life. And this book is kind of what that is talking about. It's saying that you can start fresh and make your year whenever you want to. You don't have to wait until the top of the week or the top of the year. Like, if you want to start fresh in March, start fresh in March. If you want to start fresh in September, start fresh in September. The 12-week year is about getting your main goals or getting your yearly goals within a 3-month time span. So it's not so much quarterly planning because, quarters are in 3 months. Like, you have January through March, it's quarter 1. And then April through June is quarter 2, July through September, quarter 3, and October through December is quarter 4. It's not like that. It's basically saying January through March is 1 year. Like, you're going to get everything done in 1 year in those 3 months. Because this method allows you to break down 2 to 3 really big goals and break them down into weekly and daily tasks. So you're optimizing the most of your time and then, therefore, hitting those goals within those 12 weeks. Now, this isn't some like overarching, I want to lose weight in 12 weeks or I want to pay off my debt in 12 weeks. You have to get really specific. If you want to lose weight, say, I want to lose 20 pounds. If you're trying to gain weight, say, I want to gain 15 pounds. And then each of those days, you're going to break down how you're going to meet your weekly goals, and your weekly goals are how you're going to meet your monthly goals. And then your monthly goals are how you're going to meet your 12-week goal. So the idea is to get really specific and hone in on your focus so that you reach your goals quicker. So if you want to lose weight, and you say, I'm going to work out 4 times a week, and I'm going to meal prep on these days, and I'm going to set my recipes, I'm going to set my grocery list so that you can hit those goals. And then the same with paying off debt. You have a total amount, note down how much income you're bringing in and how much income you need to increase to be able to hit a weekly goal and then therefore hit a monthly goal. What side hustles or additional streams of income can you bring in that are low barrier so they're not stressing you out, but that are actually helping you achieve what you want to achieve. Break it all down as much as you can. Small daily goals, medium weekly goals, and then larger monthly goals. And then once you hit those goals, you set new goals for the next 12 weeks. And so really within a year, you've done 4 years of what you've been trying to do for the past, your entire life maybe. Even think about setting rewards for yourself at the end of the week or at the end of each month to keep yourself motivated to keep going. So what do you think? Would you read this book? Do you think it would be helpful to you to really maximize your time and to be more strategic and focused and deliberate about what you want to do, like writing down the goals and making them plain? That's what this book is about. So let me know if you would read it and if you would implement it into your daily practice. Okay, next up is rewrite your rules. For some reason, I keep wanting to say rewrite your own rules. I don't know why. It's like how we add S's to the end of things that don't have S's on them. If you know, you know. Anyway, this was a really good book about finding more freedom and fulfillment in your life. So Morgan DeBaun is an entrepreneur who founded Blavity Inc. In this book, she talks about combating hustle culture to dismantle outdated ideals of rules for your career and your life, and your relationships, etc. So think of this book as like a personal development audit of your life values. So one section I really liked were the priority pillars. So money, stability, freedom, relationships, passions, and wellness. So there were 6 priority pillars. And this is about defining what aspects are most authentic to your values, beliefs, and interests. You have the foundational pillars, which are stability and money. You have growth pillars, which are freedom, relationships, passion, and wellness. Each of these pillars will be unique to where you are in your life, and they may change because we are all growing. Every single day we are learning and growing. So your pillars are going to change and flex throughout your different seasons of life. My current pillars are money, freedom, and wellness. And it's not that I'm neglecting relationships or stability or my passions. I'm just in a space where I want to be able to get out of that starving artist trope that I mentioned before in another video, take care of myself, and have the freedom to be able to give more attention to my relationships. So you're not necessarily going to go through all 6 of these pillars at the same time. Choose 3, focus on those 3, and then when your life and season change, switch it up and focus on the next 3. But the point is to make sure that you are living your values in your most authentic way. This book also covers high joy, low joy, high cost, and low costs by filling out like a quadrant to map out what brings you satisfaction and how you can gain a better understanding of where your finances are so that you can prioritize what you want most out of life. And then CEO tasks versus operating tasks. How can you free up your brain capacity and time by delegating? Oof! Now that is definitely for small business owners, especially ones who are just starting out. They're still small. They may not be making enough revenue to be able to hire on help. This is where you gotta get scrappy and use your resources. There are a lot of colleges who have programs where you can tap in with their classes and courses as a business and hire interns, and they will work for class credit, and you're teaching. So you're giving back, basically. But this is, where you need to like delegate, where your time as a CEO can be used for other things that can better bring in revenue or have just better systems that will help you grow overall. And this goes for your home life too. Could you use a meal prep service or a house manager to help you with the day-to-day tasks so that you can be more efficient in other ways? Think we and less me. I could go on and on about this book. There are a lot of gems, but I don't want to spoil them all. So I'm going to stop here and move on to the next book. But let me know if this book is something that you would read, if it sparks your interest, if you've already read it, what were your favorite moments in this? Okay, and last but certainly not least is this bad boy right here. 10 times is easier than 2 times. Dan opens this book talking about Michelangelo and how he sculpted that infamous 9-foot sculpture statue of Hercules, and how he did it because he was obsessed with human cadavers. I mean, this man, Michelangelo, would go and sneak into hospitals in the dead of night and study the human body. Yes, creepy, but also resourceful. Literally reading that, I almost closed the book and took it back to the library because what are we even doing here? What are we talking about? But if you keep reading, you'll find out. Michelangelo was teaching himself how the human body worked so he could sculpt a perfectly intricate human figure and present it to the world. And because he did that, he ended up doing another sculpture and then another sculpture, and then he ended up painting the Sistine freaking Chapel. Like, he was not an artist. He did not consider himself an artist at the time. He just figured it out and 10x or 10 times his abilities and talents, and to take him where he was when he was alive. So he knew no bounds, and he continued to improve on his artistic career by positioning himself as the best version of himself for every single project that he took on. So 10x or 10 times is about doing the 20% that is far beyond anything that you've ever done before by letting go of the 80% that is holding you back. There is a good deal of emotional development that you need to do in order to get your mindset beyond where it currently is. But if you watched my other book video about the self-help books, then you know that everything is figure outable. Going 10x is about developing a system for your life that focuses on quality over quantity. And in some cases, it kind of interchanges itself, because sometimes you need to do more in order to grow and expand. But in this case, we're talking quality over quantity in the amount of things that you are doing that you don't need to be doing, that aren't bringing you the fruitfulness that you are expecting. So it's not about doing more, it's about being able to accomplish more while focusing on less. So it's kind of similar to the 12-week year, where you set aside a couple of goals instead of trying to tackle your entire life in one foul swoop. There's also a section in this book that talks about the gap versus the gain, which is also another book that they wrote, The Gap versus the Gain. The gap is when you're worried about your shoulda, woulda, couldas. It's not a productive way of thinking. It's not a healthy way of thinking. And it's not pushing you forward, it's holding you back. So it keeps you from living out your values, and it keeps you stuck on where you think you should be. Does that make sense? I think it does. They give this example about you being in the desert and you are trying to make your way to the horizon. Like, you see the horizon line and you're like, oh, I can reach the horizon. But the further you get, the further away the horizon line gets, because literally you can never reach that horizon line in the desert. It's always going to be moving, so you're not going to get there. Instead, when you're in the gain, you see how far you've come and you focus on that. Focus on those accomplishments, set clear, specific, and measurable goals, and keep going. In this instance, it's okay to look back a little, because you need to remember where you came from, and you need to remember all the accomplishments that you have met thus far, because you're doing it, sis. Like, you're doing what you said you were going to do already. Don't get caught up in where you think you should be by now. So yeah, this book has a very strong focus on entrepreneurship over corporate roles, but the sentiment can be applied either way. The same with this book. It's more focused on entrepreneurial endeavors, but the same can be applied for corporate endeavors as well. Because in reality, business books are low-key self-help books, okay? There are things in these books that teach you about your life and your personal development and your mindset and your leadership skills. And like, everything is all intertwined, because business is personal and personal means business. So yes, you can mix business and pleasure, or business and personal, just not with your bank accounts. So yeah, which book are you running to your library to go get? Which books have you already read? And did any of these books strike a chord with you that may be something you've been thinking about doing but didn't know how to get started? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk it out. And if you haven't read them yet, what are you waiting for? Head over to your local library to try them out, or you can purchase them obviously on somewhere like Amazon if you're still supporting them, and or your local bookstore. Please find your local bookstores and support local always. I'll leave links to these books in the description box below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you stay till the end, drop a book emoji. I just did a book emoji, huh? Let's see. If you stay to the end, drop an apple emoji. Because teachers read books, librarians, and you give apples to them. Just go with it. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.